Good morning, students. Welcome to Unacademy YouTube. I hope everyone's doing good, safe, healthy, and hearty. So, today basically we are going to do the second part of our human development, which we left yesterday. So, we are going to complete this second part today, and yeah. So, any questions, feel free and ask as many questions as you want. Let's just wait for others to join in. All right. Let's begin without any delay. Very good morning, Raj. Welcome to the class, beta. Very good morning. All right, let's just start today's second part of human development. Before that, let me quickly tell you my name is Professor Urmi. I'm your educator for CBSE class 11th and 12th, a plus verified educator for psychology, sociology, and entrepreneurship. And this is a little about me. I hope all of you are doing great and safe and sound and healthy and hearty, because this is our revision, which is going to be a final revision before your examinations of class 11th. I hope you guys are able to do well in your exams. And let me tell you guys, most of you guys have your exams in the month of Feb end. Most of you have it in March. So, for all of you, this is a practice marathon going on. And yes, we have already had two sessions before this in which we are doing every chapter one by one, one after one. So, go ahead, check them out. Any questions, feel free. Comment on the section and ask me if you want me to take another chapters for you guys on special class, and what chapters do you require so we can arrange a marathon. The Telegram link is already given below. Go ahead, check that out. Before that, why do we force you and why do we influence you to take the plus subscription of our brand? It's because it gives you the best out of everything. It gives you the best educators who come from different fields with amazing expertise, okay, where they give you a hands-on experience, a hands-on learning experience, where you're sitting at the comfort of your home and you're learning every single thing. Winters are already here. You have your jackets on. You sit in your nice room, cozy, sitting with a cup of coffee and just learning from the educators. Meanwhile, asking a doubt if you have not understood and you want them to repeat it, and nothing like it, because they will make you practice as long as you do not understand the concept. Okay, we have the subjective test series which have already commenced. Okay, the pen it down series have already commenced, not just for science but also for commerce and for Humanities, that's for arts. So go ahead on the learning app and check out the subjective test series which we have already commenced and which is going on, and people are practicing with the same. And I'm hoping that this will definitely help you to strive for excellence and do and perform and give your best shot in your examinations and ace them. So yes, we are bringing to you all these things on the plus platform with the top educators, with the right amount of mentorship and guidance. Of course, we're going to give you all the study materials. We are helping you in drafting the answers with proper marks and proper points, and we're going to help you with the sample papers, not just for class 11th but even for class 12, because as crucial as your class 12th is, similarly the base which is to be formed in class 11th is very, very important. We also bring to you an Unacademy presents iconic subscription feature, because there are some people who are not very comfortable with the entire concept of a group study. Sometimes they feel that, okay, I need some special attention, or I need no disturbance. I only want to study by my own, and I need to be the center of attraction, where the educator only deals with me on a one-on-one basis. So yes, Unacademy brings to you the iconic subscription which redefines mentorship and ensures a hands-on learning. And here we are happy to present you a 360-degree support system which gives you the assistant which you need. Not just this, this will have and give you a personal mentor and a personal parent connect, where you can plan your doubts, you can have daily practice sessions, you can have weekly reports, you can have all the added benefits of a plus platform. And this is for your benefit, that whatever is available on plus, you will have all of them here, but with a one-on-one personalized mentor who will help you with the question and answers. The Let's Crack final exams have also brought up with some upcoming batches which have already commenced on the 25th of Jan. For the optional subjects, that is psychology, physical education, entrepreneurship, okay, informatic practices, Hindi, we have computer science. And if you're not sure, go ahead and check them out. We have already launched them. In fact, I am the one who's also taking entrepreneurship. I'm the one who's also taking psychology, and we have already commenced the batches. In my case, sorry, I have kept the batches, they are all chapter wise, so that you guys do not have any problems in searching the course. So what I have done is I have launched the courses chapter wise. Go ahead and check it in under my profile and you will get that. Satvik Sharma, namaskar ma'am. Satvik, hi, namaskar, Jai Hind. Kya hal chal? How are you, beta? Okay, so these are the Let's Crack final exams, which are optional, which are final exam batches. Now we also have the same for class 12th. Okay, same subjects which have commenced from the 25th of Jan. The duration is for 2 months. Yes, you guys do not have a lot of time because the board date sheet have already come yesterday. So just for class 12th people जिनका board का date sheet already आ चुका है, do not wait, do not waste your times, because we just have to practice. We have already prepared and we have already studied the entire course. Now it's time for revising very, very, very well. Okay, Sneha says, ma'am, you also teach home science? No, beta, I don't teach home science. Sorry, Sneha. Okay, so these are the optional subjects which have already commenced. Yes, I am also taking entrepreneurship. As you know, I'm already taking sociology and psychology for your reference. Okay, now there are 2 more batches for science. So any of your friends who would like to know, or whoever is watching this video, hi Aditya, welcome beta. Anybody who's watching can probably just go ahead and check out the Let's Crack Physics batch by Manoj sir and by Vinod sir. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, Vinod sir is taking it from 5 to 6, and Manoj sir is taking the batches from Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Of course, the time slots are different, so go ahead and check it out. Whichever suits your timing and whichever suits you the best, go ahead and join and enroll for the same. Unacademy Ascent the championship is always a part and parcel which is going to happen every month. Go ahead, enroll for the same, get all the details from the app. And who would like to miss this? This is nothing but a practice session which you will be able to score well with. So go ahead and check them out. You can use my referral code Urmi Live and avail a 10% discount. Now, many students have asked that, ma'am, we have already finished with our subscription plan and exams have commenced and the date sheet have come. What to be done? Please go ahead and check it out. If you require, you can go for 1 month also. You can go for 2 3 months also. If you go for 1 month, you can straight away get a discount on 10% and you can make sure that it comes down. 3 month one, of course, because depending on your exams and depending on the commencing of the same, although we usually always suggest you to take a higher package, many people who have already taken a 1 year package, they have now come up with a place where their subscription gets over. So I would suggest go for a first month and third month to extend your subscription for your final exams till your final exams get over. You can use my plan. You can use my referral code for your class 11th subscription, for your class 11th iconic subscription, for your class 12th plus subscription, and for your class 12th iconic subscription. So these are the schemes which I have already given you. I hope this helps you. If any questions or any doubts, please feel free and reach out to me or put it on the comment section and I'm going to help you. Now, let's just resume back where we stopped yesterday. Any questions, please feel free. Okay? Hi Shreya, how are you, beta? Good morning. How are you doing, beta? Ma'am, I was not able to join the class yesterday. Can you give a quick recap? Absolutely, I will. Ma'am, I'm absolutely fine. Superb. All right, Shreya, so I'll give you a recap from yesterday's class. No issues at all. See, we spoke about, wow, this is the first slide, by the way, just for your reference. We spoke about what exactly is the concept of development. Okay. Of course, when we think of physical changes, for example, when we see our, uh, the way right from our infancy to our birth, then reaching to a stage where we be adults, then reaching to a place where we have reached in a peak where we get married, we have kids, we start working, and that also takes us to the old age. So the entire concept here reaches us to right from the beginning to the end of development, which plays a very important role. Okay, now this we have started observing right from the school. Okay, why, beta? When we meet people, we get influenced, we get inspired, we try to see everything which is around us. So right from the conception till the moment of death, there is kind of development which we have seen across in our lives, and we grow through it. Now what is it? Development is known as a pattern of progressive, orderly or predictable changes. Now why predictable? You already know that from after class 1, class 2, you will come across, you already know that as a girl your hormones will change. You already know as a boy your body will have changes. You will come across biological changes where you will have pubic hair, where your voice will change, whether the way you're thinking, your thought process, the cognition will change, and all these things will be very an important role in terms of your maturity, in terms of your development. Now there are some parts which development gives you an idea about, that it is a lifelong process. It's not going to stop. Okay, it is going to continue. Now development mostly involves changes. Okay, which includes both decline as well as growth. Why? Because you cannot run the same way you are running at 15 or 30 when you are already 50. Is that possible? Is that possible, Shreya? Can you run in the same speed when you're 30 and when you're 50 or when you're 60? No, there will be changes because your body is going through a change, because you are going through a change, because there are certain things which do not remain the same as your entire age group and stuff keep changing. Okay, there is a part and parcel where you keep changing, there is a part and parcel, there's a thin line between growth and your entire concept of, or the definition which I'm trying to speak about development is that it is a process. And you can also say, no ma'am, correct, you can also say that it consists of an biological, cognitive, socio emotional process. You know why all these three things are important? Because along with the interplay of people around you, along with the people who are around you, you have to also have a process where your mind and thought process is shaping, when your development of your mind and thought process are growing. This is very, very important. Development due to the genes which are inherited from parents, such as in height, weight, brain, heart, lungs. Okay, these basically consist of the biological processes, whatever is happening in our body. Development also reaches to a place where the role of cognitive process plays a very important role. There's a difference between your thoughts and minds. Okay, now, yes, development can be about your perceptions, about a problem, whether you're able to solve it or not, whether you're able to deal with your own issues or not, and how. This consists also of a drive which is about your socio-emotional process, which is somewhere or the other affecting your personality. Okay, for example, you being close to your cousin. Okay, you being uh, very deeply involved with in a conversation with any of your relative, any of your family member. That's kind of a process of human development where your thought process and your emotions are concerned. You can take a place from the entire concept of lifespan perspective on development. See, guys, lifespan perspective, Shreya, is the most important part of this chapter in the beginning because it's a never ending process. Okay, even after your death, your soul will leave your body. Okay, but there will be things which will be remembered even once you die. People will be like, oh, that thing was so nice in this person, because the development process and the maturation or whatever has been your growth, people remember it. This is some concept which will never come out of your thought processes. So point number one, that development is lifelong. It takes across all the age groups, right from the beginning to the old age. Okay, there is a change in one aspect which goes changes in the other throughout the lifespan. So this is one collab. Point number two, various process of human development. Okay, that's biological, that's cognitive, and socio-emotional, which are interwoven. Of course, socio-economic, political. When you are in a society, you have to think for yourself. At the same time, you have to think for the people who are in your neighborhood. You can't do things in your own way. Strategically, you have to plan because the community is involved, the place is involved, the environment is involved, your life is involved. That is also a major part of development here. Next point, development is multidirectional. Please remember, it will either increase or show your decrement. Now, I told you an example that a speed when you are 20 and when you are 60 will have a major difference here. As a 20-year, you can run really fast. As a 60-year, your speed comes down. Not that you can't do, not that your performance is not good, but your performance will definitely come down, or it will definitely decrease when it is about an age group. Okay, development is highly plastic. Now, why plastic? Because it is about a person, it is about modifiability, which is found in psychological development. And through this, you will able to understand that people will have different skill set and abilities to improve their development through lifespan. For example, I as a person, okay, I might have many psychological development. Maybe I was not mature earlier. Then after becoming a mother, I've developed a sense of maturity. I've started understanding things in a better perspective when I've stepped in the place of motherhood. Maybe that is also a place where it is, because why we call it as has highly plastic, not the plastic which we speak about global warming. Next is Development is influenced by historical conditions. Now, what is it? For example, the experiences of 20-year-olds today is very different from the 20 years old of that day. For example, you and your grandparents, it's very difficult to choose under the circumstance where whatever they have seen in their lives, we are witnessing in ours. That's a huge difference. They must have seen things which we are not experiencing today. They have not even imagined what we are going through today. There's a huge difference, there's a huge change. Yeah, for good or for bad, that's a different thing altogether. But difference and in development definitely is there. All right, Shreya, are you understanding? I'm just giving you a review of whatever we have done yesterday and then we move ahead with the chapter. Next is development is the concern of the number of disciplines. Very important. There are different disciplines like psychology, there's economics, there's human development, anthropology, there's so many other differences, other streams which are a major part and parcel of development. Everything is interconnected. Now you tell me, you are a part of the society, you want to understand everything in society and about sociology, but you don't want to know what is the financial status and what are the economics around us. That's not possible. Development is about the concern of number of disciplines which are happening around us, like psychology, like anthropology, sociology, neurosciences, study human development, every single thing, and every single discipline and stream tries to provide answers to the development throughout the lifespan. Very, very important. Next point, an individual response and acts on the contexts which include what was inherited, that is, for example, the physical environment, social, historical, cultural contexts. Now, for example, the life events in everyone's life are not the same, such as death of a parent, accident. Imagine some of your friend has gone through a huge accident, or somebody has seen an accident which has been a major setback to that person or their life. That definitely affects the person a lot. That person is shocked because that person has gone through this. That person has seen an earthquake, that person has seen the effect. And of course, one's life, their person, no matter how, no matter what, he or she has to be positive. But it depends how much time will that person take. Not everybody is in the same zone. Now, for example, yesterday night I had a very severe pain here. So I thought, okay, there's something which is wrong. I took medicines, I went to the doctor, I saw a doctor, everything. Today morning I felt better. Now I know what I went through yesterday. I will not be able to explain it to anybody else because this was my body. Whatever went through inside was mine. So an individual responds and acts on the concepts, uh, context, which include what was inherited, what is going on with the physical environment, what is going on in his or her life, because everybody's life is not the same. Simple facts. That takes us to the next part, that is growth, development, maturation, and evolution, which are all different. Yes, the concept might be 1920 here and there, but growth refers to an increase in the size of body. Like your hair can have a huge growth, different growth where your hair is growing or it's not growing, or weight is increasing or decreasing. But development is a process by which an individual grows and changes throughout the life cycle. It is about you on a whole, not limited or restricted to height, weight, or from one class to another class. That's not the same. So the term development applies to the changes that have a direction and hold a definite relationship with what precedes it, and in turn will determine with what will come after the same. That's point number 2. Next is maturation. Maturation doesn't come with age. If anybody says that okay, now you're up to bade ho gaye ho, up to buddhi aa jaye, maturation never comes with age. This process is about your experiences. It's about your genetic blueprints. Sometimes, yes, you get it from your parents. Sometimes you get it from your family. Sometimes you take time. Sometimes it's your behavior which makes you mature or help you think in a very matured way. Okay, which is very, very important. So, yes, these processes seem to unfold from within the following, that's an inner, genetically determined timetable which is characteristic of the species and very important. Okay, next point, evolution. Okay, evolution refers to species specific changes. Natural selection is an evolutionary process. We have all developed from apes to monkeys to humans, and Homo sapiens and to humans, and then we have definitely been in existence after about 50,000 years. But this entire process has taken time. And this is the difference which I'm trying to tell you here in growth, development, maturation, and evolution. Everything happens with its own time. So, boom, everything cannot happen just at one go. It takes time, boss. So, go slow. Okay? Factors which are influencing the development. So, what are the factors? There can be different variations, guys. Everything doesn't happen at a quick boom. Okay? There is learning, there is intelligence. Intelligence is not what you get when you get good marks in your school. No, boss, that's not intelligence. Intelligence comes with the right spirit, with understanding, when you're interested in something. And there are different variations about it, you know. You can't just mistake. No, you can't just say that, okay, all right, just because your sister is like that, you also need to be intelligent. There are different characteristics. There are different variations which take place in human beings. But what causes us to be different from each other, but at the same time more like each other, is basically the answer which lies in the interaction of heredity. That's from your family, that's from your genes, that's from your parents, that's from your ancestors, to the environment which is surrounding us. We get influenced, we get inspired, we get to witness people, we get to behave like them, and vice versa. So these are few points which are very very important, which you need to know. Genetic transmission. Now genetic transmission is very complex. So most characteristics that we observe in humans are combinations of larger number of genes. You can imagine the combinations which are produced by 80,000 or more genes, okay, which are accounted in variety of characteristics. Now I yesterday told you this is about the genes, these are about the genetic transmission. This plays a very important role in our development and growth because it is happening from one to another, and this entire shift and drastic and this actual shift of moving of one to another is known as a genotype. This is a genetic transmission from one to another, from your parents to you maybe, and this is known as a genotype. Now, what exactly is a phenotype? Phenotype is an individual's genotype which is expressed and in observable and measurable characteristics. That's called a phenotype. A person's personality traits, a height of a person, weight of a person, skin color, eye color, many psychological characteristics such as intelligence, creativity, and personality. And these things play a very important role when we speak about our ideas behind the same. These observable characteristics of the individual are the result of interaction between the person's inherited traits and the environment. Please remember, you know that it is a genetic code when predisposes a child developing in a particular way. For example, your mother has this quality, you inherit the same from that parent. Your father has this quality, maybe you have got this type from him. It might be anything. Now, it restricts me to tell you this point. Just because your parents are intelligent doesn't mean that the child will be intelligent as well. Just because your parents are mature and very calm and composed and good in mouth doesn't mean that you will be also turning out to be like them. Maybe because of a lot of peer pressure, maybe because of bad companionship, you might lose it. It's not necessary that you will exactly behave like your parents do, because that's the entire point here which I'm trying to bring, that a genetic code which predisposes a child to develop in a particular way. Is it clear till here, guys? Any questions till here? Shreya, hi Divya, welcome beta, welcome to the class. So please give me a thumbs up if there are any questions still here so that we move ahead. No, ma'am, it's clear. All right, super. Then let's move ahead, beta. All right. So yesterday I told you till phenotype. Now I'm going to start with the environmental influences. Shreya, I'm hoping that I've given you a backdrop of whatever we did yesterday. So don't worry. Make sure that we will complete this chapter today. So be here with me till the end. And now you can ask any questions if you feel like that you're getting stuck. Okay. Now we begin with where we left yesterday. Now yesterday's class I also told you that influences are there as a major part and parcel. For example, the environment. Okay, this definitely plays a very important role, that is an environmental effect of what is happening around us. Now people are introvert or people are extrovert. Now why does that happen? Because it completely depends on the type of environment they are born with. Sometimes they just don't feel like being that person, sometimes they just want to be that child, sometimes they want one friend who will give that push and they will open up. It depends from people to people. It is not compulsory that everybody will come across that swing or come across that way where he or she he or she will be an an extrovert child or maybe an introvert child. Now what are the environmental influences? See, environmental influences can be, imagine that one child has developed some sort of genes from his or her parents. He has either become shorter or not able to match up to his health factors. It might be a nutritional hazard that the parents have not taken care of proper nutrition. It might be genes that because both the parents are short in height, he or she gets the height. Maybe sometimes it's not the same. Sometimes even if they have they both the parents are short in height, the child will never develop that thing. Okay, he or she will come up as a having a good height. That's possible. That's completely possible. This also shows you that genes set the limit, and within that limit, the environment influences the development of a person. This is very, very important for you to understand. Next is the context of development. What exactly does it? Is that development never takes place in a vacuum. Okay, it is always embedded in a particular socio-cultural context. Okay, now as you shall read in this chapter, the transition of one's lifetime, such as entering school, becoming an adolescent, finding jobs, marrying, having children, retiring, having a life where you get retired, etc. All of these, okay, are all joint functions of the biological changes and the changes in one's environment. Okay, so you need to understand that the environment can change. Okay, that the environment can change at the time of a person's individual lifespan. Okay, please remember, whenever I say this point, I always tell my students to know that, okay, I will have a look at your I will have a look at your questions later on, if in case you have any. But please remember, whatever you do today, psychologically speaking, you got to understand environmental influences play a major role in your lifespan and your development. And this here is, I'm trying to tell you that the development never happens or takes place in a vacuum. Always remember, right from being your infancy, right from being at the stage of your infancy till death, whatever you come across, or maybe people say that you're mature, you're not mature. Look at your age, you still have not gained maturity. Maturity doesn't come with age, it comes with experiences, and you need to understand this is plain and simple psychology, that it the environment where you stay, it completely affects of your life, on your life, being an adolescent, finding jobs, getting married, settling in your life, and vice versa. So these are the environmental influences which play a major role in your life. Hope this concept is clear to you guys. And now we're going to move further with the microsystem, which is the microsystem, which is an immediate environment setting in which the individual lives, okay, in which the individual lives play a very, very important role. Okay, why? Because here the child directly interacts with the social agents. Now, social agents, kya, have you heard of the term charity begins at home? Okay, the first thing which you start learning from your parents, from your family, people say, oh, you behave like this, your upbringing is also like this. We put up a question, and it's like a big boss spiel where you say, oh yeah, 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 maybe your parents also are like this, maybe they have only taught you like this, because it's the immediate environment setting, and that's your parents, where you get the individual's lives. It is in the settings where a child directly interacts, okay, with social agents. It is the family, the peers, the friends, the teachers, the neighborhood. You get a feeling where you look at them and you try to behave the same way. Here comes the mesosystem, which consists of the relationship between these contexts. That why is mesosystem important? For example, a child's parents relate to the teachers, okay, or how the parents view in adolescence friends. Now, these are experiences which are likely to influence an individual's relationship with the others. Whereas the exosystem includes the events in social settings where child does not participate directly, but even that influences the child's experience for immediate context. For example, you going to a family function, or for example, a child going to a friend's birthday party where he or she is being open to the audience, he or she is open to questions, etc., etc. Very important. Now, there are different sort of amenities which are being given to a child even in terms of school nowadays. It can be an environment of library. It can be sitting in a place where you have a medical care unit. There are maximum means of entertainment, leisure, luxury. Okay, now imagine a child will have to adapt to an environmental change when a father has a transferable job. Every year, that father gets transferred from one place to another. The child has to constantly do things. This space, he comes, he makes new friends, and suddenly father gets a transfer to another city. Again, he goes there and he starts making friends better. So isn't it a tough thing for the student to do it, for the child to do it? He has to be constantly being a major part and parcel of an environment where he or she is just absolutely clueless of what he's doing. And that's the exo and the entire concept of mesosystem and the exosystem. Now, what is a macro system? Macro includes a culture in which the individual lives. This we have discussed in the chapter of culture and development, in the importance basically, in which we have studied about chromosomes or chronosystems. Okay, chromosomes is a different part which is a part and parcel of your human body. We have done it in human development, but chronosystem here involves events in each individual's life, the socio-historical circumstances of the time of such divorce of parents, economic setback, financial setback. Whenever a child goes through all these things, whenever a child sees that the parent is going through all these things, he or she will definitely go through a setback, which he or she will not be able to open up with, or will have a major impact on their lives. So, when a child sees a parent constantly fighting, he or she will have a different impact on their minds and brains and thought processes or their lives. It will have a major impact here. And you know why? Because he or she is, he or she is not able to relate to why the parents are going through this. It's a setback. It is a setback. It is a circumstance where the child is not aware of why things are happening like this. Definitely plays a major role. Point number two. Next, it brings to an overview of development stages. There are different stages, right from the beginning till the end. There are different ways of becoming a person, personally, socially, from one stage to another. Starting with the prenatal stage. So, what is this stage? It's from the exact place where it is, your, before you're even born. So that's basically a stage where your mother has you in her womb, okay, where she already has you in her womb. And this is the place where you have already started developing things. They also say when a pregnant lady listens to good music, the child comes out and has that habit or love for that music. Why? Because the mother has heard of it. So this is the prenatal stage, where the entire period of conception to the birth is known as the prenatal period. So typically this lasts for about 40 weeks. You know by that now your genetic blueprint guides to your development during the prenatal period and after birth. This is clear. This takes us to the next source. That's basically your infancy. When you are growing, this refers to your amazing rate before and after birth. You've already studied this in chapter number 3, where we have studied about the parts of your brain. Why is brain important? What is the difference between a mind and a brain? What is the difference between a mind, a brain, and a thought process? Why do you have to learn? How do you learn a new language? Okay, because you observe, nobody teaches you your mother tongue, you already learn it. This is about intelligence, this is about how your human brain functions. What do you mean by cerebellum? What are the human features and factors, and all these things which affect in your day-to-day lives. Very, very, very important. Next is your motor development. Newborn movements are governed by reflexes. Okay. For example, somebody's pinching you and suddenly you reply, revert back. Ouch. A motor development is when you turn when you are learning to eat something. When you're, for example, this is a cup, you try to take this, balance it, have something, and take it back. You're trying to have it, you're holding the cup, you're having, trying to say, have something, balancing it back. It's a motor skill, it's a motor development where your hands and your actions are trying to do something which plays a very important role, because this gives you the right amount of opportunity to adapt, to come across, to learn. And right from blinking, imagine there's a light which comes on your eyes and you blink. There's a flashlight, you blink. Motor development. You're trying to react to what is happening around you as an environmental change. That's a motor development. Coughing, blinking, yawning happens throughout our lives. And development, lifespan change, overall change is a continuous process which is going to happen lifelong. And hence, remember that this is going to be persisting throughout your lives. Next, sensory abilities. Okay, now by now you know that newborns are not as incompetent as they look. They are not. Whenever they want to have milk, they will cry and mom, 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 and the mother comes and gives the milk because she knows that the kid is hungry. Okay, they know how to differentiate between their grandparents and somebody else, and like, oh, and they're like, because they know who is better, who's good, who's mine, who's not. So newborns are not fools. Newborns also have some of the other capabilities which they show that their process of thinking and their understanding levels are there. Yes, they develop smell and tasting capacities also. Maybe sometime later after they are born, but they do that. Next is cognitive development. Cognitive term is about the thought process, is about the mind, how it maps, how it works. So does a 3-year-old child understand the things the same way as an 8-year-old would? Why? So Jean Piaget stressed that the children actively construct their understanding of the world. Information does not simply enter these minds of the environment. Okay, and as children grow, additional information is acquired and they adapt thinking to new ideas. So, this is a place where you do not have to understand, but you have to rather know that children will develop with the minds and the environment, whatever they have seen across, whatever they come across, and they grow with different additional information which is acquired by the thinking, curiosity. They will ask, they will know, and every single child's mind passes through a series of stages throughout, from the thought of infancy to adolescence. When they wear a shoe, they fall down. Again, they wear a shoe of their parents or a bigger one, they fall down. Again, they wear, fall down. Why? Because they do not know why it is happening. It takes them time to reach to a place where they understand. Operation, the ability to know when the body is in space. Correct, Shreya. Correct. And this is the time when the entire prominence of that thought process and development comes into picture. Any questions and doubts still here? Any questions or doubts still here? Shreya, others? Any questions or doubts still here, guys? Once again, I'm asking. See, Shreya, Harlow's study, I can't say that it is important or not, but I think you must know about it because they will ask you, or they can just ask you uh, the entire concept of nature of love and affection. They can ask you the concept of, you know, how these are simple psychology methods which you need to know how the entire experiment, okay, have been about. Some kind of deprivation or about human experiments, okay, with it has been a lot of controversy has been coming to that story, where they included that how creating inanimate surrogacies or these things have become very particular and has been a different twinge to altogether. But I think you guys have to know about it. It's not that it's very important, but if you're a psychology student, on a long run you must know the Harlow study. Yes, even the scars theory of genotype. Yes, the environmental effect, which is not supported by it, the animal neuropsychology, the entire concept here of animal and the human behavioral genetics, basically. So at least know about it once. Get a rough idea about it, so that if in case they ask you in an objective type, at least you can give that answer. That's what. Next is socio-emotional development. Now, the important dimensions of child socio-emotional development are self, gender, moral development. Okay, and also you have to understand that during the early years of childhood, some important developments in self, in the self takes place. Okay, the child, due to socialization, has developed the sense of who he or she is, who him or she wants to be identified with. Okay, and the developing sense here of independence makes children do things in their own way. Okay, they have to be better at what they are. Okay, so on being reunited with the parent or the caregiver, they have to show that, okay, you, this is mine, I know them. Okay, so that's a kind of feeling where I told you, where your entire concept of the Harlow study comes into picture, with that monkey and the baby monkeys thing. Okay, so yes, if you ask me, beta, I think you must know about the concept. I don't think they'll give you in a lot of detailing, Shreya, but yes, Harlow study, uh, you need to know, not just for this but even for class 12th in a continuity, because there are some chapters in class 12th where you will have these repetitive contents where you can club it and give an example. So even if you don't write anything from the book's answer, you can still make up an answer by yourself. That's the beauty of humanities, and you can explain that theory by yourself, which you can probably explain in a better way and with more understanding of the same. All right, clear? So next is basically the entire concept where the stage of developing trust or mistrust comes here. Why? Because when you're trying to sense the comfort, okay, that this person is mine, this person will not harm me, not hurt me, you will also have an affectionate feeling towards this person. Okay, so that comes when you start exploring the environment, which is a very, very important role. And environment exploration begins from your childhood. Now childhood is a place where you start growing, where your entire growth starts, slows down in early childhood as compared to infancy. Infancy, it's more because you're running, you're jumping, okay, you're trying to do things which are very different. But as a child, you're trying to gain physical differences, you're trying to gain your height, you're trying to gain weight, you're trying to gain how to talk, how to play a ball, etc. And yes, during childhood, children have physical capacities, they can perform tasks independently, but it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time and it goes one by one, slowly, steadily. Uh, takes kind of time to match up the speed and go in a huge span. Next is physical development. Early development follows two principles. Development proceeds in a very cephaloclaudally way. Okay, in this, the cephalic or the head region basically here, okay, is about the caudal, or basically a caudal or a tail region, okay, or a tail region. Now, the most important thing is about the entire concept. Okay, so this is the place where your child's this portion is growing, and it is, it is coming up in a proper way. Okay, now this is the place where your growth starts. This is the place where you're doing one by one, and the children gain over the torso became before they become, or before they come, in the kind of their extremities. That's point number one, which is really play a very important role in your entire concept of childhood growth and development. Maybe this is reaching to the motor development. Motor development, I clearly explained you. Sorry, physical development. Physical development is about the way you are developing, the way you are trying to listen to things, the way you're trying to react to the environment, the way you are trying to be a part and a parcel of the society, and just like the others. Yeah, of course, it depends on how you are um, dealing with certain things, but the development will happen. Next is motor development. Now, motor development are these basically the gross motor skills which are during the early childhood years. For example, using the arms, the hands, holding a cup, like I told you, having food by yourself, eating with spoon, throwing down, again balancing. That basically comes under the major accomplishments in the fine and the more gross and the fine motor skills during the early childhood years. Okay. Next is cognitive. Cognitive is about your mind and thought process. This is a very important part here, where the child's ability to acquire the concept of object permanence enables him or her to use the mental symbols or to represent the objects. Please remember, this lacks the ability that allows her or him to do mentally what was done physically before. Please remember that cognitive development in early childhood focuses on the Piaget stage of pre-operational thought. Piaget's story, Piaget's theory is important. Please understand and note it down, mark it important. The Piaget's research is important. Okay, this takes us you to the next thing. That's a salient feature of pre-operational thought, which is egocentrism, being self-focused. So the children basically see the world in their own ways, in their own affection, in their own ideologies, where they basically try to think things in a very, or they get engaged in a kind of where for example they they will come across and tell you they don't know, they will think the way they are growing up. What will they say? They'll come and say, ma'am, I fell down, road has hurt me. Some door is, if they get hurt, they said wall has hurt me, and they'll hit the wall. That can be one of the features. okay, where they are thinking that the road is hurting them. So the children also think the same way. Their attributes or the qualities, they try to inanimate the objects, is what I'm trying to say you here. Okay, they are trying to inanimate the objects, which definitely play a very major role in terms of growth and development. And the growth and development here needs to understand that it happens approximately between 4 to 7 years of age, that they want answer of all the questions, that why is it blue, why water has no color, why this is this, why that. The curious mind develops. Okay, any questions still here, guys? The curious mind develops. So this is one thing which you guys need to know from the entire concept, and how growth spurt starts happening and from where, which age exactly. Okay, next, as the child grows and is approximately between to 7 to 11 years, the period basically of the middle, or what you call the late childhood, the intuition, initiative thought of the logical thoughts come into picture. Why? Because here they are concentrating and concrete operations on the mental actions that are reversible. So you need to understand how that child is growing, how that child is being mature, etc. Any questions still here, guys, before we move ahead? Because you got to be very sure, and this chapter is very big, although it's very easy. But I will not rush into things. I will go one by one, slowly. Required, I'll take the third class also. Of course, I'm going to take the third class for the same, because this chapter is huge, and we are now reaching to the challenges of the adolescence. And then we will have physical development, we will have cognitive development, logical thoughts, forming an identity, delinquencies, substantial abuse, and the other things of adulthood and old age. And then we reach to the most important part, that is death. These things I'm going to complete by tomorrow in the third class, which I will complete this entire chapter. And as I told you, it's a marathon where we are doing a revision for all your classes. Any questions and any doubts, please feel free and ask till the time we have done. Shreya, I'm hoping that your concept from yesterday and today's class is clear, and I'm hoping that you join the class tomorrow as well and finish this entire thing, because I want to move to the next chapter, and then I want to make sure that you guys revise. And I'm also going to keep a weekend marathon very soon, which I will give you all the details on the Telegram channel. Till here, if you guys have any questions, please feel free and ask me, guys. So I'm considering that this part is clear, so that tomorrow when we start, we will be exactly starting from the same place. And make sure that you attend the classes regularly now. And if you have any questions and doubts, feel free. I'm there, and I'm going to definitely help you with the same. So yes, please take care of yourself, stay safe, and I'm going to see you guys tomorrow again for the next class, where we will complete this unit, and we will also have a Q&A. All right, Shreya. All right, others, Raj, Sneha, Shreya, Aditya, everybody else. Please take care of yourself.